Well, hey guys, it's Mandy with Sweetly Home, and it is the end of a long day. A good day, but it's the end of a long day. I just got the kiddos to bed. I finished cleaning up my kitchen, and I thought I would do a little video about what is in my baking cupboard. So that is this cupboard right here. It's next to my stove, and I have that pile of papers I need to go through, so yeah, that looks stupid, but I need to take care of that. We were going to put a microwave above our stove. We just haven't got around to that yet. I'm not sure that we are actually going to do that anymore. We may actually take this cupboard out on top and put in a hood. So that's why that kind of looks a little bare. But I showed you what is in my corner cupboard right here, and I did some organization in that. That is where our plates and bowls and mixing bowls are. So I will have that video linked down below if you want to check that out. But this cupboard right here is our baking cupboard. It's kind of evolved. I'm happy with the organization of it. It's very simple. I am not baking like I once used to. As you can see, I've got some of my baking ingredients like flour, brown sugar, regular white sugar, and some oats. I have those on the counter, but we've sort of changed our eating style, and we're eating not, like, I don't myself consume white sugar anymore, or brown sugar, so I'm basically sugar-free, I guess. So that's more or less for my family if I decide to make treats for them. But I'm not really making a lot of treats because if they're in the house, I want to eat them. So, yeah, we're just kind of changing our eating. So my baking cupboard is not how it used to be, but there are still quite a few ingredients, and I wanted to share with you how I'm organizing it, and hopefully you can take a little inspiration from it. So let me show you. Okay, so here is the cupboard in all of its glory. I'll go through each shelf step by step and just kind of tell you what each shelf contains. So the very top shelf, that is where I keep my cookie cutters. I actually have a bit of a thing for cookie cutters, and I have them divided into different categories. So the top one is mostly holiday cookie cutters that are like plastic or a colored metal. So you can see kind of on the bottom left there is a pink cookie cutter. That's a heart. And the cookie cutters underneath of that, those are my Christmas cookie cutters. So those will be coming out pretty soon. I actually have another set of cookie cutters over here right in this glass jar. And again, this is like a little hot spot area that I've yet to clean up tonight, but those are just kind of everyday cookie cutters. I've got like a fox and a squirrel and different animals and like a biscuit cutter and stuff in there. So on the middle shelf I have a bunch of prep bowls, the clear glass bowls. There are several different sizes within that larger bowl. And then on this wire shelf I have a white batter bowl, and the shelf was from the dollar store. And then those two little blue bowls, those are actually from the Target dollar spot about 10 years ago. So there's actually another one inside, and then in another cupboard I actually have some pink ones. So this bottom shelf is the shelf that I am accessing on a regular basis. That's why it's next to the stove, and actually right next to this area where I do a lot of meal prep. That's where my utensils are, and this is just kind of a good zone for me where I can do a lot of my prep work with my stove being right there. So let me kind of just walk you quickly through everything. On the left here I have a knife. I have little kids and I don't have a knife block. I don't really care for them actually. So I just keep my big heavy duty knife up here so that they can't get into it. We've got some pink Himalayan sea salt and then a pepper grinder. My husband's actually at Costco right now getting another one. In the back are some prep bowls, and these are from Pampered Chef, and they're really awesome because they have the different markings of the cup, half cup, 3/4 cup. This is actually a whole cup, and then they have these little lids. So these are really great for mixing ingredients, or I often store leftovers in them in the fridge. And then we have two Pyrex glass measuring cups, And then underneath of that is a food scale. I use that a lot when I am measuring out bulk, like hamburger and stuff like that. So I can put it in 1 pound bags inside of the freezer so that if I just need a pound of meat or 2 pounds, I can just grab those out. In the front are 2 little salt and pepper shakers. Those actually need to go away. I had them on my table for spring, but I can put them. So this little basket in front came from the dollar store or Target. I'm not sure which one. But it holds my extracts. So I have lots of different kinds. On the left are Watkins extracts, and they are actually 2 deep. I'll pull it down so you can take a better look. So they just all kind of line up 2 by 2. And then on the right are some other extracts, just, I don't know, Clubhouse brands. Not Watkins. I love the Watkins because they have these really cute little bottles. So that is how I'm storing those. And then behind the extracts are my baking powder. And behind that is my baking soda in a mason jar. And then I have a little wire shelf, and on top is my baking cocoa. And in the front here I have my measuring cups and measuring spoons. Now honestly, this is not ideal, and eventually I probably will change this system. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm constantly getting out measuring spoons throughout the day to measure out different ingredients, and this system just doesn't work. So I've seen where people hang them on the door of their, baking cupboard. So I've kind of thought about that idea, and that may be something I do in the future, but for now this is sort of working, although it is a bit annoying. So behind I have this little jar. I actually picked this up from the Goodwill. It was part of the $5 Goodwill challenge, and I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with the jar, so I actually ended up doing something else. I'll have that video kind of linked down below so you can see that if you're interested. But for now I just have muffin papers inside of that. And then this little blue bin is from the Dollar Tree, and I will pull it down and kind of show you what is inside. So inside I just sort of have random things that you might find in a baking cupboard. So let me show you what we've got. First is this little egg separator. He's super cute. I don't use them very often. I actually just buy liquid egg whites, but if I ever just need 1 egg separated, he comes in handy. And then I have these 2 containers from Tupperware, and you can put salt and pepper in them, and they're great for camping. Another use would be like colored sugar for sprinkling on Christmas cookies. They do have the cutouts so that you can sprinkle things on. I haven't yet found a use for them, so they are just kind of in this bin taking up space. And then inside I've got some spices. I've got pumpkin pie spice and cream of tartar, which isn't really a spice, but I have a drawer that I use for my spices, which is why they're not in this cupboard. That drawer needs majorly overhauled, so eventually when I get that taken care of, I will show you that system, but for now, it's a jumbled mess. So I also have some yeast for baking. And then I have xanthan gum. So this thickens like milkshakes and sauces and things like that without using cornstarch. And then a xanthan gum that I had already used. And then I've got a pack of chia seeds, some whole flax seeds, the directions to my cookie press, and this I think is also a warranty as well, which is one reason why it's in there, but when I need my cookie press and